Yes, I made a theme song so that I can talk about all my favorite shows. Oh yeah. And this is just your disclaimer that this is not me talking about any of the actors themselves, but more so their characters. Please do not attack me in the comments. Everyone is entitled to their own opinion, even those who disagree with me. But let's keep it friendly. All right, let's get started with the show. Here we are talking about what I know people really want to hear me talk about. If this is the first Gilmore Girls video you're watching, you would not know that I have other videos that are on my YouTube channel that are talking about all the episodes prior to this. Anyways, let's get into season 3, episode 17 of Gilmore Girls. So Rory and Lorelai are sitting here trying to debate which college she should go to. This is the episode where Kirk is trying to sell t-shirts, and their t-shirts have like these slogans on them that are basically him just narrating stuff that he's seen around the town. Lorelai tells Luke that Rory has been accepted into all the Ivy League colleges pretty much, and that's where we get this scene.
Okay.
I'm not good at hugging.
Luke tells Lorelai that Jess has been chosen as Employee of the Month at Walmart. The Edgar Allan Poe Society has come to the Independence Inn. Lorelai is trying to impress the people from the Poe Society and trying to use their lingo, and Michelle knows that the people she was talking to were not part of the society, and she just keeps letting her talk.
Oh, and there's $200 in it. I think that's how we got our honoree to even show up to this thing. The first time this young man sat down on that forklift, well, it was like an extension of himself.
It came with cash. It's the only reason I'm here. I gotta get back to work.
Yeah, the forklift's going, where's the extension of me?
Everything was going swell, but then he tells him that Jess has been working 40 hours a week, which he's like, there's no way he's working that much when he's working at the diner and he's supposed to be going to school. Like, where is he finding this extra time?
He enjoyed a little bit too much of the... Mom?
Rory waves to Dean, and then Lindsay turns around and rolls her eyes at Rory instead of waving back. The same exact thing happens with Luke and Nicole, and Lorelai's looking for a pen, and then Luke doesn't have one, and Nicole basically just gives her a pen, and it felt like she did it just to get her to shut up. She's like, yo, stop talking to me and my man. Why is he giving me, not him, why is he giving me Ross Geller vibes?
Fred, I don't know this Fred you speak of.
Oh, knock it off. I'm tired.
Meanwhile, as a side plot, why Kirk had to put his shirts on sale for 80% off? Because they're not selling. Rory and Lorelai run into Dean and Lindsay is just so fed up with Rory's presence.
I don't remember.
My thing about this whole situation, though, I don't really understand. Maybe I'm missing something and someone can enlighten me in the comments. But I really don't remember, what exactly made Lindsay start acting like this towards her. Because I could have sworn the first time they ran into each other, Rory and her weren't exactly besties or anything. But I don't remember her just, constantly giving her the stank face. I think I remember her, actually avoiding Rory or trying to because she knew that she was dating Dean and that she was... my point is, she already knew that they were exes, so why all of a sudden has her tune changed? Lorelai runs into Luke, and he's pretty much telling her what's going on with the Jess situation. Lorelai kind of forces Luke to accept or open his eyes to the fact that Jess probably is not going to school. Rory wakes up Lorelai in the middle of the night and tells her that Tobin, the overnight manager, is calling to tell her something about the fire alarm. But then they find out that it's actually a fire at the inn. This is one of those scenes where I'm like, I don't understand how people constantly say that Lorelai is just so thoughtless and careless. Are we watching the same show? Because one of her first concerns when she comes up is her trying to figure out and make sure that the person that usually comes in at a weird time doesn't come in thinking that they can come in and then they end up getting burned alive. And then she goes as far as to think about the parents and how freaked out they must be, trying to tell Rory that she can help give them a break.
I used to work at the independent scene, and I was wondering if there were any positions available.
I feel like this is one of those scenes where people try to use this to say oh my gosh, this is why I don't like Lorelai because she's so selfish. But I genuinely don't believe that she would have brought all those people there and tried to set up and do all this stuff for these people if she really felt like Luke was going to be offended. And in fact, in this scene, she tells him if you really have a problem with this, we'll just pack up and go. I don't, they're close friends. It's not like he's a stranger. It's not like they're not really good friends at this point.
What? You do not need to recite the Gettysburg Address every time you answer the phone.
And I'm learning the computer.
And I'm looking for my cyanide capsule. Have you seen it?
I can take a couple in, sweetie.
I can too. We got cots. Ooh, we got cots.
Rory realizes that Paris has not been coming to school because, the news about her not getting into Harvard. And she decides to go by her house and check on her. Back at Lorelai's house, she has some people show up to her house to try to, get somewhere to sleep tonight. And why is he wearing one of the shirts that Kurt made? Rory and Lorelai end up realizing that Rory should go to Yale because it has the most pros out of all the schools that they've made a pro and con list for.
Yeah, guys, yell if you need anything. I don't want to hear you yelling for any other reason.
Lorelai brings it to Rory's attention that Jess is probably not going to school like he's supposed to because of what Luke said. The Hattlestats show up to Lorelai's place saying that they want to stay at her house because she made it sound so fun. And she's wearing another one of those shirts. He must just be passing them out now because people don't have luggage and stuff. But the problem is now Lorelai has nowhere to sleep. So naturally, Lorelai shows up to Luke's looking for somewhere to sleep. Lane is on the phone with Young Chu and she's pretty much like being his girlfriend. And Rory's like, ain't he supposed to be breaking up with you so that you can be with the person you actually want to be with? Jess shows up to Lane's window and Rory's like, so about school, you're going to that, right? As Jess is sitting there lying about how he's still going to school like he's supposed to, he keeps on looking to the side like, are you on to me? And what irritates me so much about this is that Rory literally offered to help him and he turned it down, and instead, we all know what happens next. Nicole calls Luke and he never tells her that Lorelai is literally sitting right there. And he explains that the reason is because he's been talking about her a lot in front of Nicole, and Nicole's starting to get a little sensitive to the subject. Lorelai finally tells Luke about that dream she had where they were like together and Lorelai was pregnant. But she never tells him that in the dream they kiss because, that would like lead to more questions. Then Lorelai gets a call saying that the inn is reopened for staff only. Lorelai shows up making all these plans and the chief is like, you might want to look inside first. Everything in there is pretty much burned and torn down, and there is no way that they're going to be up and running anytime soon. Then we see Rory's wall back at the house, and it is covered in Yale stuff because she has officially chosen Yale as her college. And she has a shirt. This side storyline with Kirk and these shirts. But yeah, so then she has a shirt that says Rory is going to Yale. And that is episode 17.